get going tonight, but let's first start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. A few announcements. We exited executive session where we talked about negotiation updates, and legal matters. And also, one other announcement I did want to make tonight was so when our last meeting we talked about our search for our superintendent and what that will look like. We all committed, the board is committed to making it a transparent process, and that's what we intend to do. Mary Colleen and I will be meeting with OCs at the end of this week, and then I will probably do an off-cycle meeting with the board to update and then have a conversation. I'm sorry, Carla, can't see you. To discuss our next steps. So, with that, just an FYI. Okay, can I have a motion to adopt an agenda? Naomi is first. Maybe the second. Gus is second. All in favor? Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, why don't we let the students go first, and then we'll go to our comments. So we'll have Senate or Eric, whichever.
Hello.
There you go.
So, open house happened last week, and there's around like 10 or 15 clubs with about 100 people, parents and kids. And then high school West open house, there were only like 4 clubs, but that's because most of them take place in high school East. There were lots of people as well. The PSAT is going to be next Saturday on October 18th. I'm working with Mr. Gus to try and make a focus group for like all the different types of students. I'm trying to collect feedback if Dr. was a Turner, if he got that email, right? So once we get that going, that'll be really good for me to get more feedback from unbiased group. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Senate.
So I'm just here to talk about the homecoming dance. It was a really great success. We got around 111 tickets, which is way more than what we were initially expecting, but it was good either way. Anyway, the ice cream bar was a very good success with the students. They really seemed to like it. There was a really long line, and it was very crowded. And Spirit Rally is taking place this week on Friday. So we are assigning tasks right now to our Senate members. So hopefully that will go smoothly.
Did you say 100 tickets or?
800.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I thought it was over 800. Okay, got it. Okay.
We're also here to talk about 2 other concerns about board policy that the Senate and other students have brought up. So the BOE policy 7225, which dictates like which students are allowed to wear like cords and sashes at graduation. It dictates only like a certain number of like honor societies or like SPSN in there, and also like whether you're going to the military, and that we were asking to like have maybe a more like thorough explanation on why certain clubs are not allowed to like have cords at graduation. Like one example that we've had is UNICEF, which does like a lot of work for like children and like sustainable development and like advocate for humanitarian like causes, and that's like a really good cause. And so we're asking like for like those types of clubs, or really like any clubs, to like what's the specific line, like what's the criteria that you have to meet to have a cord graduation. Another question that we have, as the Senate deals with the mascot costume itself at games, and that last year that we no longer go by the Plainsman name, we were asking how the board has gone like further into like picking a new name other than the Plainsman to have like as a mascot for the school, because currently we don't have one. And like I go to like a lot of the games, and like I talk to a lot of people at different schools, and they're like, oh, like what are you guys? Like you're just the Shenendehowa, like what are you? Like we call like it the horse. So like it's kind of like weird, like oh, like we used to be the Plainsman, but now we're just like a horse. So we were wondering like how the process has been going to create a new mascot, like name or like animal, I guess. That's all. Thank you.
That's a good question. So we will circle back.
assessment.
So this is a business meeting. So with that, we have board comments, and I will start to my right with Gusta Miller.
I don't have anything. Thank you, Bill.
Petra?
Everything. No, it's just been, is my mic on?
Mhm.
Which one is it? I don't think it's on any, I mean, it's just, the light doesn't turn on.
Can you borrow Carla's
You want
or
mine here?
Gusta's?
Yeah.
or-
I'm gonna borrow the mic to say,
Okay.
I have nothing to say.
Oh.
I could have said it for you. I know, it was very dramatic though.
Mrs. Thompson?
I don't know what you want to use, put in this particular area. I just wanted to say that we had a really good, I would say, great chance to work with the policy committee. It was the first time really for us. Mrs. Gullo and I really got a lot out of it, I know I did. And I learned a lot, and I still have a lot to learn, Becky. I'm just telling you now. We do have a set of policies to be accepted tonight, so everything worked out with the policy committee.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would just add to that, I mean, it was incredibly, I mean, it's for me, being new as well, it was incredibly thorough. The attention to detail was, I thought really, I mean, everybody kind of weighs in on certain parts of it and pieces that they think need to be modified or changed or nothing at all. So I think collectively it went really well, for sure, yeah.
I'll have to add, policy, I think, like iPad, you learn so much about the district with those particular committees, and so your work is very important. Thank you. I want to start by thanking the administration for our little mini buns. It's not an apple pie, but that's okay. I think we'll be okay. You know I'm kidding. But she also knows what I'm referring to. So, also, the cards are so adorable. This will be my new profile picture for Shen. I love the little school bus. So thank Octave students for that. I also wanted to say the Athletic Hall of Fame I thought went really well. I know you're probably going to have something to say for that, so I won't say much except that Mr. Labard and his crew did an amazing job. And I tell you, you can't walk away from that and not feel especially proud to be part of this community. It was just so well done. And then the last week, okay, so many things are happening. I'll save some other comments for later on the agenda at the very end. But I want to just say one more thing, and that is congratulations to the high school for its PTA School of Excellence Award. This is the third time they've received that award, which it goes for multiple years, and it is not a trivial matter to work through the criteria to get that recognition. So this is the third time they've done it, and it was with the same team. That being Mrs. Colazzo from high school PTSA and Mr. Augustino, our high school principal. And I know there's so many more people that were involved with that, but I feel that they need to get a shout out. And I also thought when you brought up the policy committee, I need to also recognize the DEI committee. It is very exciting to be on that committee. There is definitely energy that I definitely felt this last week, but I love that student voice is the focus. So good things to come on that, and I will stop there. Very good.
I just wanted to recognize the phenomenal experience I had at the open house. And I always have a great experience, but I feel like this year, the teachers really just went above and beyond to make it so interactive and exciting for parents. You know, they had trivia, one section was a trivia game, and just really working so hard to make it informative. And I think that the thing that, the takeaway for me was really that we have such phenomenal teachers that are so dedicated and are really responding to today's student. And I think that is exceptional. It really makes a difference. So it was great as usual, but I think this year they really went above and beyond.
I'm actually going to say my comments to the end. There's a few things I do want to talk about. So from there, I'm going to, because it is a business meeting, this is the opportunity for residents to address the Board of Education. The board reminds residents that the public comment portion of our meeting is only one item on a long agenda. We therefore ask that each speaker be as succinct as possible and that remarks be limited to 2 to 3 minutes in an effort to ensure that the widest Number of community viewpoints are heard. The board asks members of groups or the public to withhold comment if their viewpoints have already been presented. We would also expect that residents speak in a respectful and courteous manner as to model proper civility and decorum for our students. Comments or questions regarding a specific staff member, student, or confidential will not be allowed or addressed by the board. District residents may also send questions, comments via boe@shenschools.org. All questions, comments come into the Office of the Public Information and are shared with the board and the superintendent. Policy questions, concerns are typically addressed by the board president. Operational questions, concerns are typically addressed by the superintendent and/or designee. And when you come up, if you do come up, please provide your name and address in the event follow-up is necessary. Do we have anybody from the public? Okay, seeing nobody, we're going to move on to the rest of our agenda. Therefore, Dr. Wilson Turner, for your report.
Good evening. So I will start my report with just an appreciation for our Board of Education members. So the lovely treats that you see on their tables are in celebration of Board Member Appreciation Month, which is most appropriate because these people come and are board members for us for free. They do it because they are each in their own way committed to the students and the experiences they are having in our systems, whether they have current students with us or students that have long since left Shen, because the impact was that profound. And they are active board members. They don't just come to board meetings. They will spend many evenings with me and high school principal and middle school principal and elementary school principals, participating in the incredible events and celebrations that we have for our students. And so our community gets to see them regularly supporting our students and investing in us as a community. So it is a very small token of sweet appreciation for each of you and the time and dedication that you give to our system. So if you wouldn't mind, a round of applause for our Board of Education. And I will just add personally, your support during this transition has been tremendous and has made all the difference in the world. And so I appreciate your partnership and your ongoing support as we navigate this together. There are a few really important announcements that I'm going to preview, but I would like to reserve my comments for when they come a little bit later in the agenda, and those are specific to the announcement of our principal for the Early Learning Center and the name for the Early Learning Center. And so I'd like to be able to give a few comments at that point in time, and so I'll reserve that for there. I want to thank the Board of Education for your ongoing support and my ability to participate in the new Superintendent's Academy put on by NSCIS. I attended last week and found out that there are over 70 new superintendents in the state of New York. It's approximately 10% of new sitting superintendents. And I will say to you, not all of my colleagues are in that room able to have that opportunity, so it is not lost on me that I do. It is valuable to be able to work with experienced superintendents, to be able for them to share their knowledge, their practices, and to inform how we move forward successfully in the superintendent role, and being proactive about that as opposed to reactive and learning things after the fact. So again, I appreciate your support and participating in that. Our focus this time was on finance and how we continue to work effectively as superintendent and board with your Board of Education. The NSCIS conference, New York State Council of School Superintendents, then followed my new Superintendent's Institute, and it's a tremendous opportunity because the New York State Education Department commissioner, deputy commissioner, and key top staff are present throughout that conference. And so we have direct access to the most current information around what is shifting and changing, and a lot is shifting and changing, as you well know, in our context. And so I was lucky enough to participate in sessions around what is currently happening at the state level legislatively, what is happening at the federal level legislatively, and how that will and will not impact schools. And I'll endeavor to keep you updated as those shifts and changes continue to occur. And particular to some initiatives that are coming forward, they have a roundtable session where you get to sit with representatives from the State Education Department. I had a chance to sit with the person who is supervising the EB bus transition. And I give him a lot of credit for sitting at the table, taking the questions as how this process is supposed to work, providing some information on some potential waivers and funding to offset those costs. So it's a really important conversation for us to consider. Also able to spend some time with the teacher evaluation office, teacher and principal evaluation office, as we look to, again, to navigate another new shift to a new teacher evaluation tool before 2033. So just a really great opportunity to continue to stay current in the work in the field and make sure that we stay current in our practices and have the opportunity to align them in a very proactive way as opposed to a reactive way. And then lastly, I will just say in the spirit of this evening, I got to spend some time at the kindergarten summit this morning, talking with all of our kindergarten teachers and EDK teachers, trying to just keep them in the loop of all the things that are kind of happening in the background for the ELC. And they are most appreciative, so they got a sneak preview to the announcement we will make this evening, which I think they were very grateful for, and just really happy and excited about the opportunities to come. And so we're excited that many of them will take the journey with us over to the ELC. And I said last comment, but this one I have to get in. So it is October, and we had our snow emergency planning meeting today. And so, just so you know, it is anticipated to be a very wintry winter. And so that process of planning starts very, very early. So you'll see some contracts this evening that support our leasing of vehicles in order to make sure that we are able to clear the campus roads. And as my new football player friend asked me, will you be the one that closes school? And I was able to say to him, probably not, because we have some of the best maintenance and operations staff and transportation staff in the area, and we keep the roads clear, we get the buses on the road, and if the buses do come, you will be going to school. So just be on the lookout for information to come about snow emergencies and how parents are able to find that information, because we can begin to plan that now. So thank you.
Mrs. Galea makes her way up. We do have a tenure recommendation off cycle tonight.
We do. So in front of you tonight, you have a recommendation for tenure for Robert Krupanich, who is a music teacher here in the district. He's being recommended by Frank Roselli and Erica Ryan. And Robert has completed a 3-year probationary appointment in the tenure area of music. He was hired in October of 2022 and works with the students at Chattacon. So once we vote on this, we can ask Robert to come up as well.
So I hope you all had a chance to,
Sorry, I'm paying attention to the commentary.
be able to
There
give a proper recognition. So, can I get a motion? Gusta's first, Carla's second, and we all want to congratulate you, so that's going to be our comment. So please make your way up here. All in favor? Yeah, we're all going to congratulate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Great.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Is tomorrow the tenure
It is.
ceremony? Yes. Yes.
Congratulations.
Kathy's going to.
I know. So we have our information items. Kathy, do you want to come up and provide a brief introduction?
Good evening. We always present our external audit done by EFPR this year, as they have done the last couple of years. I know Doug Zimmerman was not able to be here, but I think Brian is.
Yes.
Yes. So if you'd like to come up and present the audit. This is for the year ended June 30th of 2025. We did get a clean opinion, and I will turn it over to Brian.
Thank you. That one is not me. Maybe under the minutes for the.
Actually, it's
I
not
don't
further. I saw it. Keep going.
It's further down.
Oh, it's
We
an
have to
action
approve
item.
it.
Yeah,
Oh, it's in,
it's in there.
It says
Right there.
presentation.
it's in the business
There we
items,
go.
yeah. I mean, the action items.
And everybody has this
Yeah.
in here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Sama. I'm a director with EFPR Group, and I'm here to just briefly go over the audit committee presentation for a portion of it. We started out our audit earlier this year by performing a detailed risk assessment. From there, we were able to develop what would be considered our significant audit areas and what types of testing we would perform, whether it be substantive testing of details or tests of internal controls. And we were able to also develop audit programs for each of these significant audit areas that enabled us to effectively express our opinion on the various financial statement elements. Next slide, please. Doug Zimmerman did meet with the audit committee back on September 22nd to go over the audits in much more detail. I'm here to just present the results, which is that we are expecting to issue unmodified audit opinions on your basic financial statements, your federal grant compliance, or otherwise known as your single audit of your federal funds, and your extra classroom activity funds. An unmodified opinion is a clean audit opinion. It is the highest rated opinion that you can get, and ultimately it means that there are no material misstatements embodied in those financial statements, and that they are in accordance with applicable federal and regulatory standards. All the information that we requested was freely available for our inspection, and there were no instances of non-compliance with laws, regulations, or other matters in accordance with government audit standards or uniform guidance, which is up for your single audit or federal grant audits. The major program that we did test was your special education cluster, which is your preschool grants and grants to local, or grants to the special education agencies. So that is pretty much all I have, and upon recommendation of the board, we would be able to finalize these financial statements in the next few days and issue those in their final format and file everything by the 10/15 deadline. Thank you.
I just wanted to comment. I was at the meeting when Doug presented the report. The one thing I wanted to add that I think it's really important here is that one of the questions I had asked was about debt service. I was curious, where we stand, and rightly so, because we've had some big rocks as far as projects move through, whether it's EV buses, regular buses, or the like the $85 million capital improvement project, in addition to the Maxwell project coming through. And I was curious where that was. And I think I was asking Kathy right before the meeting, I think it was like around 3.5%, which is really good. I mean, those were the questions I'd asked. What is our financial standing after all that? And we're still, I guess, AAA rated. We're still in that ballpark. So that just shows a lot of good planning and how it's playing out, and how the projects are rolling off. And I just wanted to mention that for the board, that I thought that was really important. And I'm looking for Kathy to see if she, that sounds about right, the 3.5%?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was right, because I don't have my notes from the meeting. But I just wanted to thank the firm for looking at that and also being able to speak to it.
Yep, absolutely. And we talked about that at the last meeting too, how much that service.
Yeah. So I didn't have any more questions for our external auditor. I just wanted to comment on just the internal audit report that was done. With the claims report, the findings were, the things that they highlighted were typical.
Thank you.
Yes,
We
thank you so
appreciate
much.
your time.
Thank you. And I just wanted to comment on this, in that it's under the informational items, but in that the audit that was done, it's an internal audit, it's not an external audit. This information is, by the way, shared with our external auditor, so that when they're doing their internal assessment, their internal controls assessment, they're looking at these things to also determine what areas to sample and to actually go deeper into. But for this one, I just wanted to highlight that IMS was looked at. They looked at 8 systems, and the 2 major areas were user access, as far as email access, whether these accounts were being deactivated, and the other area was asset disposal. And I did think that the outcome was positive, meaning that, of course, they had findings, but the findings were very low impact as far as risk to the district, meaning that even in the disposable items, they talked about the Chromebooks, and that there were no motherboards. They were just looking at who should have destroyed them, etc. Making sure that at the end of the day, the information, especially our students and our teachers, is handled appropriately. I thought that was big. I also thought an important thing to take away was that we are part of, Shen is part of this consortium that is Student Data Privacy Consortium, where the work with SED commissioned. The 12 RICs across the state that are run by the BOCES have collaborated on this effort, so that the data privacy agreements, the EdLaw 2D pieces, it streamlines it for us, and so it's a big asset. And so I thought that I'm not sure how many people think about this, but it's, you know, it's protecting something at a time where data is always at risk, at high risk, and that, that this is being taken seriously by SED and also by the districts. And I was happy to hear them also report on that as part of the internal audit report. That was all I wanted to share of the 3 items that are listed there from the audit committee. Carla is on the audit committee with me, and she was at that meeting. And I thought it was a really good meeting. I don't know if you wanted to say something more about
No,
that.
it was incredibly informative, it was well organized to follow every step. It was overwhelming for me, to be honest with you. I had to go, when we left, I went over some of the stuff and I didn't even understand a few of the things that they were talking about. I do now, I got them. So it's not too bad. But it was a wonderful meeting, really very detailed and really very, Shen came out looking really good in that meeting. We're doing the right stuff.
We're on the right track. I mean, all the things that they're doing.
Yeah.
And I was going to speak to one of them when we get to municipal resolutions, but Shen is there. You know, others are looking, hey, we need laws for this, but Shen is there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was good. But anyway, thank you.
Okay, well, Naomi did B, so I don't think we need to do Kathy unless you,
Anything else?
are you sure?
Did you want to say anything about the audit? I didn't know if you.
No, I thought it went well.
I did too. I really did. I thought they did a good job. Thank you.
Okay, so we reviewed minutes, so I don't think we need to
No.
go on that one. Okay, so Naomi, I'm gonna, Dr. Wilson
Yes.
Turner, you did meet with Naomi. Naomi did share, today, some of the details, so I know we're gonna have a 3-4 review.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into detail. There's 34 of these resolutions. So what I'll just quickly say is, you know, at the September 9th meeting, everyone, we talked about the resolutions. I have since received feedback today. Thank you. That was very much appreciated. I met with Dr. Wilson Turner on September 30th, and we went over them, and there's a lot, which is why we cannot go into detail all of them tonight. But you have all of all the positions that we talked through. So there was only a couple that we had to talk more on to get on the same page. And of course, Dr. Wilson Turner has an extensive knowledge on a lot of these points, especially New York Inspires, and how that impacts several of these. Again, I won't go into detail, but there were 34 in general. And this is from, you know, over 700 school districts and 37 BOCES across the state. They submit these every year. The ones that are approved on the 16th, NISBA will take to Albany and lobby for passing as law. Some of them do have an impact, some of them don't. We'll see them right back here. And so they have a resolution committee, and that resolution committee reviews all of them, and they actually give an opinion on all of them. And the first 24, I believe, they confirmed, meaning that they support. And then the last ones, 25 through 34, they do not support, they oppose. There is yet another committee, it's called the DEI committee, that also gives a response on these, and they're looking at the equity issue essentially through an equity lens. And they either affirm, oppose, or neutral, or are not, they're not in agreement, so they have a non-consistent consensus statement. Theirs is more varied. So they affirmed 14, they opposed 2, they were neutral on one of the bylaws and resolution 3. They were neutral on 14 of them, actually 14 of the resolutions, and they were not consistent, there was no consensus on 4. But that's because they're looking through these with a very specific lens, a little bit different from the resolutions committee. For the bylaws, of the ones that the committee approved, Dr. Wilson Turner and I agreed on ones that we did not agree with their statement. And a lot of it has to do with language and whether this will be meaningful or not, and whether it's going to have any impact or not. So I won't go into it. I'll say that all the changes to the bylaws. So at the very beginning, there's bylaw changes that oversee the entire process. We oppose all of those, and Dr. Wilson Turner's in agreement as well. And generally speaking, they're asking for changes that, especially for the first and the third one, will not lead to transparency. It adds duplicity to the process. And the second one that they have for changes actually takes away a lot of the advocacy infrastructure that we have in place. And so we don't agree. So we don't agree with any of the bylaw changes. And I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be on the same page with that. For the actual resolutions, which are ones that you know, it's varied. Whether it's talking about testing in New York State, whether it's talking about the whole milk in the lunchrooms, they're all over the place. As far as that concerned, they're all around things that, and some of them are outside the jurisdiction of SED, meaning that if it talks about taxes, about how the taxing mechanism should work, that's outside our jurisdiction. If they're talking about what's on the menu for lunchrooms, that's USDA, that's also outside our jurisdiction. So for those, we opposed, because they're just outside of our jurisdiction. And it doesn't make any sense to go down that road because they can't lobby for that in Albany in come January, February. That was generally it. Petra had made a comment on one where we had supported it, but it was somewhat, the explanation that I provided was a little bit contrary to supporting it, and I just wanted to clarify that one, because some others may have that. And it was on number 15, it was like proposed changes for a substantial increase in state reimbursement rates for our out-of-district special education placements to reflect true and current costs inclusive of transportation and related services. And so, and we both agreed on this one, that the language was vague. Even though the language was vague, it would be great if we got an increase. But it didn't address the other underlying problem, and I didn't know if you wanted to comment on this, but because I got most of my, I changed my position, actually based on the conversation with you, and that is, it's looking at, it's not really tenable because the current formula does not currently fully fund IDEA costs, and that, for example, it should be up to 40% right now, but currently at Shen we're only at 11%, and it has to do with that those costs have to be aligned with high-cost staff, right?
High-cost staff ratio, yes.
Right, the high-cost staff ratio, and you have to hit that for to be able to get reimbursed for this, and that's why we're only at 11%. So increasing this amount would not address the fundamental problem that is keeping us from actually taking advantage of more of that funding. So that was, and I can add more into that one and then share it out. And then there is also the other thing that could happen when we actually vote on the 16th, and all the delegates meet. What could happen on the 16th is more information may be presented that might change our position. So there is a small chance that we shift on some of these. But I will let you know if that happens the night of. And I know that it won't, and then you'll have to trust me to make the right decision depending on that information that is submitted. But
they also do have the opportunity to suggest modifications on the fly, and they've done that before.
Yes, they are restricting. They are restricting that. Yeah. They're saying no, but yeah, I think it is for the best because that is part of the reason why that meeting goes on for a long time. So we'll see. And so if you have a specific question, again, we're not voting on these, so just let me know. And I'll share any changes out as soon as I get them with the rest of the board so that everyone is aware of where we are at with these resolutions. I think that captures everything. Thank you.
Thank you. So I know Andrea, most of us didn't really get a great in-depth look, so take your time, take a look, send your feedback, okay? So I know this is a kind of a brief overview tonight, so appreciate it, Naomi, thank you for your time. Dr. Wilson-Turner, thank you so much. All right, Becky, I saw you back there making your way up, talking about first reading.
Good evening. We have a lot of first reading on tonight. Just let me provide a brief summary for you that the month of September, we spend a lot of time in policy review, reviewing the annual policies by law that need to go every year in the beginning of the school year, as well as all of our plans. And this was very comprehensive, and this year we also included those policies that went with those plans. So that's being presented tonight for first reading from policy review in September.
So why are you guys doing the absence letters again? I feel like we just did on.
We just had to make a minor change on there. If you could pull, in the memo, I believe I state why we did it. I can't remember off the top of my head at this moment.
It's okay.
And I don't have it right in front of me, but we had to make a quick change to the regulation. So it's not really a policy change as much as it was a regulation change, and regulation is for informational purposes. But in order to make that change, we still bring it forward.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions?
Thanks,
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Then we're gonna move into consent items, treasurer's report. Can I get a motion? Petra is first, Naomi is second, any comments? All in favor? Motion passes, thank you. Minutes, we'll combine, September 9th and September 23rd, if you were not here, you can still vote. So, sure, you looked at them, can I get a motion? Gus is first, Petra is second. All in favor? Motion passes. Great. Okay, every one of these need to be separate. We talked a lot about these first couple here. Business items, number one, acceptance of external audit report, which was the presentation we saw tonight. Happy, we all commented. Good. Can I get a motion? Mary Colleen is first, Naomi is second. Any further comments? All in favor? Motion passes. The corrective action plans, which was none, which is good. Can I get a motion?
I think it was also for internal audit too.
It's for, yeah, correction, yes, sorry. Yep. External and, yeah.
External correction. Yep.
External, yeah.
Oh, okay,
External.
there was a corrective action plan for internal
Yep, they're gonna
audit,
go for
so,
that.
but
We're
these are
doing it
separate,
separate.
yeah. Okay.
Naomi's first, can I get a second? Justice second. Any further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, we talked about this too, acceptance of the internal data security and audit report. Review. Okay. Can I get a motion? Naomi's first. Carla is second. Any further comment?
I want to reiterate that it was awesome. I think IMS did a fantastic job. And even the very small things that were discovered were so minimal and actually like were responded to as, well, that's why we did it. We did it for this particular reason. So I thought it was a fantastic audit and kudos to them.
Thank you. All in favor? And motion passes. Number 4, it's always interesting, pilot, what comes forth, what we're looking at. You all got a chance to look at that. Number 1. Yeah. Can I get a motion? Mary Colleen is first, Naomi is second. Any further comment on this one? Is this all in favor? Motion passes. Okay, and then our plans, right? What we have discussed previously. So our first one is the acceptance of our technology integration plan, which Mr. Nardelli through. Can I get a motion? I saw Augusta first, so there you go. Augusta's first, Petra second. Any further comment?
I just wanted to say, once again, excellent plan, really, really thorough.
Great. And then following that is the acceptance of the cybersecurity incident response plan. Discussed.
Do we vote?
Yeah, vote.
We gotta vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. You talked and I went, sorry, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Petra was first. Can I get a second? I'm sorry. All right, I'll go with Nick.
I think.
But we already did it.
I did it?
We didn't
Yeah.
vote. We didn't vote.
Okay, the comment, all right, all in favor. There you go. Sorry. Apologies. Okay, now we're moving to cybersecurity. Yes. Acceptance of the cybersecurity incident response plan. Another good one. Reviewed, Naomi is first. Can I get a second? Carla is second. Any further comment? Okay, all in favor? Passes. Professional learning plan, and another good one. All these are great. Can I get a motion? Augusta's first, Carla is second. Any further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. Acceptance of our special education plan. Thank you, Bree, once again. Can I get a motion? Augusta's first, Petra second. Any further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. MTSS. Can I get a motion? Augusta's first, sorry, Mike, you didn't come that way. Can I get a second? Mary Colleen second, all in favor? Motion passes. The CAC counseling plan. Can I get a motion? Augusta's first on that, she's sitting down there. Can I get a second? Petra second. Any further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. right. Moving on to number 11 is the booster clubs. I know we had a minor change on that. That is in there. Thank you, Naomi, for the track piece. Thank you, thank you. Sure you all reviewed. A lot of boosters, a lot going on. So, a lot of support. Can I get a motion? Naomi second.
Come on, folks.
Naomi's first, Petra second. All in favor?
Hard.
Motion passes. All right. Bids, front loader. Or bid process. Can I get a motion? Andrea's first.
Hooray.
Yay, Andrea. Any further comment on the front loader?
They're expensive, man.
They sure are.
Tell you what.
This was the prequel to this, okay.
Snow.
Yeah. I guess it's better to rent them than to.
Yeah, you won't see one in my front yard. All right, all in favor? Motion passes. All right, contracts. So Impact, right, where we have a lot of our volleyball get-togethers and everything that they do there. So Impact, we do rent that, so we have a bid for it. Can I get a motion? Gus is first, Carlos second. Any further comment on that? All in favor? Motion passes. All of these need to be separate, so sorry about that. Special education, access therapy, we've talked about these a couple times. Can I get a motion? Petra's first. Naomi is second. Any further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. Advanced therapy? Yes, we talked about this one before. Physical therapy, speech. Can I get a motion? Carlos first. Mary Colleen is second. Any further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. Four Winds, Katona. Do not have an agreement. Katona is down by,
It's Westchester.
It is Westchester, but I don't think we had a Katona contract before, did we?
Depends on where students enter the district from as well.
As part of Four Winds, so. Yeah. Can I get a motion? Naomi's first. Andrea second. Any further comment? Sorry, Petra, I gotta go. All right, all in favor? Motion passes. Nourishing Minds.
Well, did we do Four Winds Saratoga?
Oh, Four Winds
all on there.
Saratoga.
Were they all
They're
on there?
separate.
They all-
Yeah, I'd like to
No,
be-
she's breaking them out.
They need to be separate, sorry guys. Can I get a motion?
For
Gus is
Saratoga.
first, Petra second for Saratoga, yep. Further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you for that. Nourishing Minds. Number one. Is this P3?
It's tutoring service for women.
Psychological, 15 minutes of notes. What is that, guys?
This is, there are
They do
2-hour
that?
sessions that were required.
Yeah, there's tutoring kids in hospital usually.
Okay, can I get a motion? Oh, sorry. Go
I just
ahead.
have one more question. Where is this one? Or is it this,
Unless it's, they're at home, but I think it's.
are they at home for this one?
I don't know if this is home or.
They go through in-home tutoring.
It is at home,
Yes.
okay. Thank you. Very sorry.
No? Can I get a motion? Naomi's first. Andrea second. Any further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. All right, True North, we have talked about before. Can I get a motion? Petra's first. Carlos second. Any further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. And U Albany. Yep, training, yep, that's great. Can I get a motion? Carlos first, Gustus second. Any further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. And then, special education, the tuition contracts, that we have, and this one's for Wildwood. Can I get a motion? Not new to this district. Gustus first, Carlos second. Any further comment? All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, I think we had one scholarship donation, if I remember correctly, or was there?
Yes, it was, just the one, right?
So they're standard Caravan.
Yep.
couple dollars, that's okay, every dollar counts, right? $30.
30, my bad.
Yeah, can I get a motion? Partridge for Mary Colleen a second. Any further comment with gratitude? All in favor? Motion passes. And the resolution, I'm gonna let you take a few comments on this, to name the Early Learning Center. Dr. Wilson Turner, do you wanna make a few comments first?
Thank you. So the resolution outlines the process that has been used over the history of our organization in naming our schools, really in deference to the Native Americans of this region. And so each of our schools carries a Native American name based on research done quite a few years ago. And each has either been assigned a name, which is all of our elementary schools, and then we had 2 middle schools. At the time, they were Middle School A and Middle School B, who had the opportunity, because there were students and staff in those buildings, to actually vote on the name of their middle school if they were presented with options. And so Gowanus and Coda were able to be voted on by their school population. We do not have a school population yet in what will be our new Early Learning Center. And so we do look for the opportunity, much like the comment this evening, for them to have input in developing the mascot, because that has been an exciting prospect for elementary schools. But we were really excited to be able to look through this list that has historically been with our system and find a name that means to have for small children. And so tonight we asked the board to take action on a resolution that would name our Early Learning Center a TRIA, to have for small children. And it's a TRIA, and I've tried to get the cadence right, like a Ranjan, right? Because there are many different ways that you could say this. And in sharing this with the kindergarten teachers this morning, it also sounds like atria, right, which is central to the heart. And it really does speak to that this will probably become the heart of our school community as we bring all of our youngest learners together for the first time in our system, to have this incredible experience in a place that is dedicated to small children. So I do ask that you take action this evening for us to be able to name our Early Learning Center a TRIA. That's me, that's telling me to go to the soccer game.
Awesome, that's great stuff. How exciting. Can I get a motion, the board, to be able to discuss it as first, Petra as second? Any comments?
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Great name.
Thank you. All in favor? With gratitude and recognition and all the good stuff that goes with that. So happy for that school. Okay, motion passes. And then going along with this, approval as my good students are coming on special education meetings. It's Bree's walking up, I'm moving on to staffing. Okay, hi Bree, how are you? Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
For your approval tonight are the special education student placement recommendations.
Okay, awesome. Any comments for Bree? Can I get a motion? Mary Colleen is first, Augusta is second. All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you, Brianne.
Thank you.
That's what I was looking for. I was so excited that what was coming. Sorry. Okay, approval of staffing.
All right, so in front of you tonight, you have the staffing agenda. I would like to point out that we have 2 retirements with appreciation. We have Susie Kirby-Lamont with 24 years and Jody Pedinode with 11 years, for a total of 35 years with the district. And I know Susan
They are here.
is here with us tonight, and we will ask her to come up after the vote.
Yeah.
Great.
So should we vote and then?
You want to vote that and then we'll go to the separate? Yeah. Okay, can I get a motion? Retiree and with extreme gratitude and recognition. Can I get, all right, Petra was first, Naomi is second. All in favor? Motion passes.
Hey, come on
Okay.
up.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much. We're lucky to have you.
Okay, good. Okay.
We've been very lucky. So, it's been a great spot. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you.
So I said to her, as soon as I saw her in the HR report, I said, oh my goodness, I'm finally getting to work with you and you're leaving on a project, but I have you to the end of January. Yeah, it's great. It's gonna come fast. It's gonna be great. Thank you. And congratulations. Thank you.
So next, on the agenda under personnel, we would like to announce the principal for the Early Learning Center. So, this is not on the staffing agenda because it's really more of an assignment change because she is currently in a principal role with us here at the district. So we will be naming Erica Ryan as the principal of the Early Learning Center. She is currently the principal here at Shenendehowa. So we're very excited to have her take the lead on this exciting new initiative for us. Her actual appointment to the position will take place in April as we look to as part of our hiring process, hire someone into Shenendehowa and make that full transition. With that being said, Erica has been working diligently with everyone right now on projects, on the committee and everything else as we plan for the new building.
Another exciting.
Yes.
Big night for 5 Maxwell.
She's not here.
She wouldn't, sorry, I did want to share this, so thank you for saying that.
Yes.
So she was like, I'm so sorry I can't be here, but I finally got an invitation from one of my students to go to Taekwondo. And she said, I cannot say no to a student who has invited me to be a part of something special in their event. So it speaks volumes about her as a parent and her commitment to our students, and so I told her it was totally acceptable to take it this time. Awesome. And she'll be back in November to provide an update on the Early Learning Center, so you'll have an opportunity to see her again then.
Congratulations, Erica.
Yeah.
Yay.
We'll vote on her now. Can we get a motion?
No motion, just an announcement.
Just the announcement, sorry, staffing recommendations. All right, so we already voted on all those, right, Jenny? Okay. Okay, we can have it. Okay. Deanna needs to go home. All right, so for that, okay, public comments, do we have any additional from the public? Hearing none, for the good of the order. Does anybody have anything? One
Yes, I
thing?
have a couple things.
Oh, you have the floor, go ahead.
I was gonna mention about the Athletic Hall of Fame, and Naomi's already brought that up, but it was a wonderful experience. I've never seen anything like it before. Really honoring people from the past to be the models for now and for the future. It was a wonderful program, well organized, really put together well, and I really enjoyed it. Another thing that came up, first time I've ever been, is to the World Language Induction Ceremony. It really there was 100 students that were honored and recognized for their studies with 2 or more languages. Can you imagine? It was thrilling to see these students, and kudos to the teachers who draw out the talents in these students. It's just wonderful. And another one that came up was the Trian induction also, that's for 3 M's, and that stands for Modern Music Masters. And the performance that they put on was the choir, the band, and the orchestra put on a performance of the Star Spangled Banner. You could cry. It was amazing. And a student conducted the orchestra. Usually you see, one of the teachers doing that, and the student did it, and it was wonderful, really wonderful. And again, kudos to the teachers for organizing it all and, getting students to really use their talents. It was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed that. I think that's all I have. Yes, that's it.
I did have something I want to share. I just add on to yours, and there's more to come. There's this week,
Yes.
tomorrow, National Honor Society, right after the tenure ceremony. So yes, we're in green and white. It feels like there's so many opportunities to recognize. I wanted to actually share with you that I think everyone received an email, but I'm not sure. But BOCES is having an open house and ribbon cutting ceremony for their new CTE building. That's actually going to be on October 17th at 11:30 a.m. There's also an opportunity to walk through and see the kids at work. That's why it's an open house, so that which is something they've never done before. It's at 886 Waterville Shaker Road, which is really close to the airport. It's across from their really brand new CTE building, because all their buildings are brand new. And this is an extension building, and one of the things I thought was pretty exciting about it is that it's brought some things to the capital region that our students couldn't even take advantage of before because they were out in Schoharie only. And that was like heavy equipment operators, so they get to use these backhoes and learn how to do all that kind of fun stuff, and also like plumbing. And I think there's more, but those were the two that I had eyes on, and I thought, wow, this looks really interesting. And even how they constructed the building so that it's conducive to that type of learning environment. It's very exciting. I hope you can come. I don't think the actual ribbon cutting ceremony will be that long. I'm not sure how long the walkthroughs will take, but I think that you can pick your times after that. I think there's going to be multiple groups going. Anyway, it's really fun to see these kids at work, and of course I'm always looking for our students there too, to say, are any of these our students? And they're always happy to share what they're doing and what they're planning to do later. And typically these are our 11th and 12th grade students that are in this program. So if you can go, I hope you can, and I hope to see you there.
Is tomorrow also the tenure recognition?
Yes. Yes, tomorrow's, there's a lot going on. It's gonna be challenging.
You really need to get this on.
I do.
And the Technical Honor Society that we just received today too is coming up too. That one is really special because you're gonna see students that you don't typically see at these other ceremonies, and I probably shouldn't say it that way, but it's very exciting to also see their excitement, their families come out for that one. But we just got the invite for that one today as well, so that's it.
Two little things. Number one, I was gonna bring my daughter to Triumph yesterday because she got inducted, but she had to go to the Empire State Youth Orchestra, right? So it's kind of funny that she was busy rehearsing, so she couldn't go. But I wanted to say congratulations to everybody that did that. I also wanted to give a shout out to all the kids who took the SATs. I hope everything went really well. And I know the PSATs are coming up, and that's also kind of scary for some kids, so good luck to everybody there. And I hope to see you guys at the tenure reception tomorrow, which is my absolute favorite.
I just had one thing I wanted to add. I was at the PTSA high school meeting last week, and there was, Jen Palazzo had presented that there's, around mental health, they're working on a grant, right, Maddie? Yes. And I just think it's truly amazing, quite honestly, but the grant is gonna be focused on mental health advocacy, correct? You're doing work around that, so I thought it was really kudos to you for that initiative, which is huge. So we'll have more to come on the grant, but you're doing a lot of work around advocacy, mental health awareness. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Yeah.
And the final thing, I'm just gonna do a plug for the green and white. At your seat tonight, you do have the cards. We had several more made. This is just a smaller version. There is a QR code on it that goes straight to our Shen Foundation website. Very excited, November 1st, 6 to 10, the Vista. Food, drink, band, photo booth. It's a great evening. It's really, really a fun evening. So get your best dress on, ready to kick it up, have some fun. And Brooke has helped us. Our social media is up now tomorrow for both Instagram and Facebook for the Shenendehowa Education Foundation. So we're happy. We're doing great things this year. So hope to see you then.
Is it the same band?
The accent, yeah. Yeah. $100. I mean, where can you go for that for dinner? Get food, drink, well, not drink, but food, dancing, and a lot of fun.
Water.
Yeah. But yeah, we will have a signature cocktail that night. Okay, so with that, I will ask to adjourn. Can I have a motion? Petrus first. Gusta second. All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you and have a great night.
Board members, could you, for a picture?